Welcome to Soccer Yanks. I'm Dave.
And I'm Dan.
And this will be our third podcast in New Podcast Central. Dan's been working very hard making this. And it's a cozy establishment. A little bit of an echo. We feel very godly.
Yeah, we're in a man cave, but it's just really a cave. We're in my basement. It's cavernous. There's a bunch of baby toys.
Lots of princess costumes and Barbie Corvettes.
Barbie Corvettes, though. That's
riding in style.
But it's Podcast Central now, and this is where the magic is going to happen every week. So
podcast hooliganry.
If the echo is awful, let us know. Then we'll have to move. We'll relocate into the closet or something. All right. Today is the 8th of April. The Manchester Derby happened this afternoon. Dave, as our resident Manchester United supporter, your thoughts and feelings.
It was going to be a good afternoon. And then I had to go to a car dealer to pick up a car for a repair, and United lost. It was, yeah.
What was worse, the car dealer or the watching them lose?
Actually, we got a sweet Passat for a rental. It's brand new.
I almost feel like you just don't want to talk about this match.
It's got great mileage.
Yeah.
No, it was that last Aguero goal was another highlight reel goal. It seems like every time these two teams meet, there's one spectacular. They had the company header that won it. I think it was two matches ago. The Wayne Rooney wonder goal that's still on every ESPN reel.
Yep.
That Kun Aguero goal was insane.
The match was intense, right? You cannot take away the excitement of this derby. Both managers had aggressive tactics. There was no sitting back and waiting. Each team pounced on every opportunity they had. I believe Man City came out with more confidence. Before the match, Roberto Mancini was quoted saying, "The rest of the EPL is losing to United not solely on talent, on fear. That they're giving Man U way too much respect. That they're coming into the game believing that they can't beat them already, and even if they're giving 100%, they don't have the mental strength to face Man U." And I think he prepared his team to say, "Doesn't matter that we're in second place. Doesn't matter how we're doing. We are not going to be scared of them. We're going to go to the Theater of Dreams, and we're going to do what we have to do."
Well, they did a good job. They came out. It was very open at first, back and forth the entire first half, and I think when they came out in the second half, it became more momentum. Every 10 minutes it seemed to swing, and it turned to be in the favor of City in the end.
Yeah, the Aguero substitution was great. I mean, Aguero came on full steam, ready to go. He was running at the Man U defense. That goal. I mean, how many? He drew in three or four defenders, and then he put in a rocket into the upper 90.
At first, he had two defenders within about 4 feet of him between him and the goal. And then he had another one going to what at the time looked to be right in front of him. And then somehow he just wiggled his way in between. And
he gave it one more step, accelerated, found a little bit of space that he needed.
Found a corner.
And then took off. And he put that thing into orbit.
Yeah, it was very... And it was a huge momentum shift too. It took all the wind out of the crowd. It put all the energy juiced up City, and good for them. But at this point in the season, I think it was just a attaboy for them. At least it was like a consolation.
They're still 12 points. They have the nice history of visiting Old Trafford and doing well. They have the 6-1, I believe. Was it the 6, or was that a home game? I know that they've won twice at Old Trafford.
Yeah, there was a 6-1, Dan.
I wanted to pretend like I didn't remember. No, I'm kidding. Okay. So they've done well a few times, but they haven't been in this They don't have Man United's pedigree. They don't have their history. So it's just a step in the right direction for them. I think as a club overall, it will be an asterisk when people look back in 5 years about what happened.
They won't remember this game. They're going to remember that United won the league.
Right. That United's got 25 wins and so on and so forth. So, exciting match. Great football. Oh, the one thing I didn't like actually was how chippy the game got in the last 10 minutes.
It did. A lot of cards started coming out.
The cards were flying, a lot of stupid tackles. Zabaleta and Ashley Young looked like they were going to go at it.
Mm-hmm. Zabaleta was a lot of people skinned that game.
He's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's a defender. He's supposed to be. He really got under Young's. Skin there. There was a lot of Aguero and who was it? Aguero and somebody else were in a shoving contest. And Phil Jones. Aguero and Phil Jones got a little shovey.
I just think he misunderstood his facial expression.
Did you read my tweet?
No, I didn't. I didn't know you were tweeting.
I tweeted that. I said, somebody tell Aguero that's just what he looks like.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, you know what? I don't like Danny Welbeck. I don't know if it's his lack of consistency. I mean, I like him as a player normally. He plays great for England, but lately this season he hasn't been that good. He's a lot of miscommunication. I mean, I remember in I think it was the 12th minute they got on a counterattack. It was Welbeck was going up the middle, and there was one defender guarding the box, and Rooney was flying up the right side, and there's no way he couldn't have seen him. And I guess he was thinking that the defender was going to go take Rooney, but I don't know.
That's where he went wrong. He was thinking.
And you know what? And usually in most sports, you always play the pass. The goalie always has the shooter. You always guard the pass, and I guess that's what he was thinking, that the defender was going to play the pass. But I think it was Zabaleta, and he went right for him, and he got it.
I am not a proponent of Welbeck's. I think he gets a lot of credit for being English. I think there is the premium for the English player. They're slightly overrated, a lot of them. Technically, amongst the other strikers in the league, even amongst the Manchester United strikers, I don't think he should be starting over Javier Hernandez.
No. But this season seems to be...
Although they're playing weird formation. They're playing... I'm sorry.
No.
I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. It seems this season Hernandez plays as better as a striker anyway. I mean, he's had 15 appearances. 8 goals have come off the bench.
Super sub. Yeah, he's the most efficient player in the league, I think.
Yeah.
For minutes played and goals scored. But Welbeck technically, I think he's athletic. He's a super athlete. Speed is incredible. I think his technical ability and his football knowledge is where he's lacking. I think he's still a little bit on the raw side. Is really where I feel he's got more growing. He still needs to mature more.
I'm starting to see more of a Pogba situation, though. It's kind of got mirrors. Except this time he's actually had chances, more chances than Pogba actually has. But his lack, I think it's his. There's so many better people. The depth is so much that he can't get in, and it's unfortunate because he's a good player. And I think if he had more chances, if he had got loaned out maybe to
right
to somebody else, but they don't want to risk that because they don't want him to get injured, obviously.
Exactly. So, I mean, Derby Day's over. Was it consequential? Not really.
No.
Exciting, yes.
It was a good game to watch.
Mancini keeps his job.
Definitely. He signed the extension, but they were talking about that before the game. He might, even though he signed that,
I think
the way his relationship has been with his players, or at least allegedly.
You said this last week, and I've thought about it, and you're dead on. The guy's got balls, and I think some people I like that about him.
He's a striker. He's got that mentality.
He's put his players on notice. He said, "You know what? You don't perform for me. Doors open. You're going to go, and I'm bringing in. I have the means to bring in other people. I think that's going to be the big factor. If he gets who he wants, I think early on, if things look in the transfer window are going to be good for him, I think he stays. If not, he's going to apply his trade somewhere else, perhaps. We'll see. I think he's going to stay. I think if I had to wager, he's staying.
I mean, how couldn't he? He just won. He won the league for them in the most dramatic way. They're still in Europe. They're second place.
They'll be back in Europe.
They'll be back in Europe next year. They got rid of a problem striker. They took care of another problem that he had last year. He's performing well now.
Tevez is loved again.
People and the fans like him. And you need to have there's different kinds of personalities and different coaches, and every team has their own identity. And maybe this is City's identity. They're the rebel rousers. They spur each other, for lack of a better word.
Spur each other.
We'll get to them later. But yeah, no, they in the swagger and the confidence in United on the other side of the pond or the other side of the tracks, they have this gritty street kind of, this is who we are. Take it or leave it. If you don't like it, GTF, go pound sand, bud.
Yeah, go be a Red Devil fan. All right.
I'm going to go back to being Chelsea fans.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Moving on. So first and second look pretty tight, especially with this win today for a City. They put a little bit of space between third and fourth place, which are now tied on points, 58 points, which is Chelsea and Tottenham. Chelsea played Sunderland at the Bridge this week. Paulo Di Canio, his debut didn't go so hot for him. He was really hoping to make a mark. Come in to Stamford Bridge and win. Maybe the expectations should never have been that anyway.
He was expecting a battle over Britain, a blitzkrieg.
What I found hilarious.
Swift attack. No, just kidding. No fascist jokes.
He was an Italian. He's an Italian, not a German. What I found really funny before the match, him and John Terry apparently are buddy-buddy. Oh, look at that. 2 racists and a pea pod.
Oh, boy.
No,
oh, boy.
I say this in jest, of course, because we don't really know how much of a racist they are or how little they are.
There's no database.
Yes, exactly. But I thought that was funny. In the game, though, to the game, which is more important, Chelsea beat Sunderland 2-1. But Chelsea's midfield, that trio, they were dogged. They just looked tired. They didn't look very effective. Demba Ba went out with an ankle injury at halftime.
Oh, boy.
And then the Green Hornet came in. Have you seen Torres and his mask? He looks like the Green Hornet. But I'll tell you what, the mask is making him play like a man possessed. He's chasing down defenders. He was begging Sunderland to make a mistake.
Maybe it's some sort of a subconscious alter ego.
Right.
He doesn't think the fans can see who he is. I can be whoever I want.
It's
a masquerade in Venice.
It's like that scene in Big Daddy where they make the little kid get on the stand and put the glasses on. No one's going to see you.
It's an invisibility cloak.
So he thinks he's in his backyard now, kicking the ball around, juggling. He's having a blast. He played 45 minutes and I was impressed. He didn't score, but he was trying to make things happen. I was impressed. I think maybe he knows, all right, Ba's going to be out for maybe 2-3 weeks. Who knows? They don't know the severity of the ankle injury. He's like, here's my chance again.
Well, that's what he did. That's what he did last season. He did nothing all year, and then the Champions League came, and there was the game of the Barcelona when they parked the bus, and then it was another cup match. I think it was the FA Cup last year. It was the same thing. I think he scored a key goal in that too.
He scored key goals. He scored last season. He didn't score plenty of goals, but he did score in some competitions.
In big games.
He scored some key goals.
And
some key goals.
That's what people remember, I guess.
He scored some key goals.
He was practicing his kegels.
Yes. That's why he's so good now.
He's tight. I mean, his game is tight. Yeah.
No. So it was a great 3 points for Chelsea. They needed it. They put them back up. They were in 5th going into the weekend. Put them back in 3rd place. The other top 4 team, Tottenham. Excuse me.
Other white mate.
The other white mate. They drew Everton at White Hart Lane. Interesting match. Spurs come out of the gate. Adebayor immediately puts one in. Spurs look, we don't got Bale. No big deal. Look at us, we're already up. It was like a game that they were trying to prove a point. They were trying to prove to everybody we're not a one-man team. We could do it without Bale and his big ears. We're gonna be able to make it happen. I think they were also without Lennon.
I remember seeing him.
I believe they were out without Lennon as well. I think I saw him on the sideline looking very posh. He had a couple more
vents.
He got a couple more vents.
That Icelandic Sigurdsson fella, he's really making himself
the pride and joy of Iceland
in that Modric spot that was left open very nicely.
Well, yeah,
he's a supporter.
He actually played in the Bale role.
Yep.
This week. He knocked in the equalizer with 3 minutes to go. I was not happy with Everton's performance. Everton went too negative too quickly. They were playing a good counterattack game, but once they got the 2-1 lead, all of a sudden they parked the bus. Every single ball was just booted out. There was no try. They didn't try to hold up the ball. They didn't try to link up. It was just clearance and hope that somebody gets on the end of it. Mm-hmm. When you go negative, you're begging the other team to
find a hole.
Find a hole. The Spurs did not have the creative spark. They were lacking. They had possession, but it was a very lackluster. A lot of lateral passing, a lot of long shots. They were not penetrating.
Well, you know what happens usually what I noticed in the Spurs play. Bale, like most superstars, always draw two defenders
and create holes,
and they make a hole right in that top part of the box when he's on the left wing on that top corner of the box. Then Bailey, Sigurdsson, even Lennon will work his way over out of Bayor. They'll cut into that little pocket of space, and that's where everything starts from, that little circle. And they turn around, they pop it in, they chip, they go back and forth, but it doesn't happen when everybody doesn't have that level of skill and draws that many people.
Right. There is... It's the skill. It's not even the allure of the name, because that comes... Right, exactly.
It's more organized. There's a lot... You don't have to worry about somebody covering where that one guy was covering to come draw the other defender in. If you can understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Hugo Lloris. It was the tale of two Hugos. In the first half, the goal that he let in was an embarrassment. It was a header that was headed to the ground through his legs.
And it bounced to the guy who headed it. It bounced to Adebayor off the ground, and he headed it down, right?
No, it was a corner.
No, that was
Jelkovic.
Who was it?
It was the captain. I'm going to butcher his name.
Jelkovic.
The defender. It was a header.
Jagielka?
That's it?
Jagielka.
Yeah, see, if I tried to say that, it would sound like Giagov.
It's like when they say Azad.
Azad. So it was a corner. It was Baines, I think, kicked the corner to the far post. Guy gets up, nice air. The defending was a little lackluster, but it wasn't the best header. He heads it straight down into the ground, directly at Lloris, and it just goes...
He nutmegged them.
Nutmegged them. Straight through. Okay, so that was the first half, like, total blunder. Second half, Everton's on the break. Anichebe. That's it. I'm the historian. You're the enunciator.
I'm an intern at the UN.
So he's got a one-on-one. Lloris comes up huge break. He saves it. They could have been up 3-1. Keep him back in the game, and then the Spurs find a way with their Icelandic miracle worker. Actually, it was Adebayor. It was actually hold-up play that he had some hold-up play in the box. Found a way to turn, hit the post, and then Sigurdsson was right there for the rebound.
Agent Q.
Agent Q?
He's got the Q in his name. I don't get it. Is it a Q?
No.
Yeah.
Who?
I'll look it up.
Sigurdsson?
It's a G.
It's a G, my friend. You're dyslexic, aren't you?
A little bit.
It looked like a Q.
It does look like a Q. Fudge.
One good thing about the Spurs that I liked.
Special.
We're going to give you 5 minutes extra at the test. What I thought was really impressive, though, was although they lacked the creative spark, never gave up.
No.
That team never gave up. They definitely were fighting. There was a lot on the line, but Everton had a lot on the line, too. They never gave up.
Chelsea had that reputation last year, too, when they became champions of Europe.
Just never give up.
But no, they played to the end. That's how they beat Chelsea. That's how they beat Bayern. They went.
Barca, you mean? You said how they beat themselves.
I'm sorry, Barcelona. That's how they beat Bayern, and this is how we just got the mentality with Tottenham now, and that's another great coach that.
I think AVB is. I think AVB is a good manager. I think he didn't get a fair shot at Chelsea, and I think he's going to prove himself at the Spurs.
Yeah. Agreed.
We agree. And I said lots of nice things about Tottenham.
And I said some nice things about Chelsea.
So
I guess we're gaining credibility.
Yeah. Everyone knows it's all lie. I just lied for the last 10 minutes.
We got over the cognitive dissonance.
So knocking on the door of cognitive dissonance. No, knocking on the door of the top four, Arsenal. 2 points behind now. So they have a game in hand. They win that game in hand. Now they're up a point on both those teams.
Who's next?
Behind them is Everton.
No, I mean who they play next.
I believe it is Norwich, but I'll have to look it up, double check. They played the Baggies. West Brom, Albion. At the Hawthorns. Same fixture, last game of the year, last season, that they needed a crucial win, and the Baggies gave it to them. And I mean, the Baggies played their asses off, and Arsenal managed to figure out a win. They figured out a win again this week. Again, it seems almost like this one I actually feel is a total tactical misplay by West Brom. They should have started Lukaku.
Now the great Belgian.
They should have started him. He's 19 years old. The kid's incredible.
He's a horse. He's so strong. Great in the air. Header. Go on.
So, go on. Arsenal did great first half. Rosicky stepped up. Has been a squad player all year. Wenger says, you got to fill in. The guy steps up like the seasoned vet that he is.
He has great... Every time I've seen him, like I said, he comes in, he does his job every time. He never dogs. He never dogs. He's always... He'll run through somebody instead of giving up on a play.
Yeah, I mean...
a lot of heart.
The
Wilshire...
little Mozart. I mean, great performance. Other guy that I think had a great performance that has been really the scapegoat for a lot of the season for Arsenal has been Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah, he has gotten a bad rap.
It's changed. I would say over the last month and a half, the supporters have kind of trying to find a new whipping dog, maybe to blame problems. Although we've been doing well, so there's no complaining right now. But Ramsey has played every position except for striker and goalie. Yeah. Wenger says, play right back, play left back, slide to the middle, play in the holding position, play attacking midfielder, play on the wing. Yes, sir. Can I have another?
Wherever you want to go.
Wherever you want me to play. He does not. The guy doesn't complain. He does everything. He hustles all game. Put in another great shift. But as I was saying before, West Brom Albion, complete. They had one dimension, long ball, to Shane Long. That's all they had.
That's what they usually do, though.
Well, when they have Lukaku in, he kind of runs freely across the front.
Isn't he on loan?
He's from Chelsea, yes. We'll get to that. So in the 60th minute, he comes on. All of a sudden, now they have width. So now he's playing. He's drawing people into the corner, and now they're playing crosses. Now they've created a space. Now they're playing crosses into Long, and there's something to work for. He's pulling out that Arsenal defense. Before it was very easy. Mertesacker was all over those long balls. There's nothing there. All of a sudden, Lukaku comes in. The BFG, the big F in German, is lost. He's like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Long ball over his shoulder. He looks over. Long's got it in the box. Stupid slide tackle. Red card and a penalty. They score, and then we go into panic mode. Right, the last 15 minutes, Arsenal were lucky to come out not drawing. They had 3 great chances. One that Lukaku should have nailed. We got really lucky. I can't.
I was having a heart attack.
I died. I was dying.
I thought you were.
I was dying.
Yeah.
But Fabianski. I mean, he lost his job because he couldn't hold on to the ball. The guy, I don't know what he put. He put some stickum or something, double-sided tape on his gloves, because everything that was coming into that box, he was grabbing. Great saves. I want to say Rosicky is the man of the match, but I almost feel like Fabianski is the one that saved it for us. I mean, I think he's really the one that really saved that match for them. So there's two pieces I want to really talk about. All right, so I just waxed poetic about Arsenal and how they won. They got lucky, but two things. Did you see the Mertesacker tackle? You saw it.
I remember watching. I remember getting the red card. I don't remember seeing the.
Okay, it wasn't a nasty tackle. It was a tactical tackle, right? He tackled him knowing that he had a clear scoring opportunity. It was probably a little foolish. He probably should have been better off letting him try to take the shot, right? Still had a chance. You still have your goalie in it,
right?
Yeah, he basically the ball got played over his head. Long trapped it. I'm not sure if it was off his chest. I think it was off his chest. The ball drops to his feet, and Mertesacker just swings around and goes to the ground and takes him out. It wasn't dangerous. It was a player in a scoring position. Now, my problem with that is, one, I think it was foolish. He shouldn't have done it. He should have let him have his shot on goal, and we would have seen where that would have gone. If they scored, they scored. We still have 11 men. But what I don't like about the ruling is they award the penalty kick, which is great, absolutely correct. But isn't the red card was, I think, severe. And I don't think I'm not saying it because I'm an Arsenal supporter. I think, and I've seen this in a lot of situations, because he's in a scoring position. The red card is almost like a mandatory. I'm not sure someone's going to pull out the rule book on me and tell me no, according to paragraph 17, -5, this, that, the other thing. Right? He's like, no, it's not like that. But no, thank you. But I feel like it's double punishment. You award the penalty kick and you remove a player off the field. I can understand removing a player off the field if he pulled a Bobby Zamora. We'll get to that one. A boot to the face,
nuts.
Okay, if he did something dangerous and stupid, I can understand. All right, you get a red card because of that. The how dangerous your play was. It wasn't a dangerous play. It was a tactical foul, a yellow card, and a penalty kick. We're even, right? I just don't get it. I mean, are you seeing what I'm saying, or
you know what? It was 2-0 at the time, right?
That penalty drew him 2-1. Yeah.
So not only did you put all the momentum in them by taking a man off, now they're from the goal being scored, they're now playing a man down, and they're playing out of tactics. And the ruling was ridiculous.
I don't know if it's ridiculous. I think it's form. I think that's what they've been doing. But I just think maybe they need to review that kind of situation and say, hey, refs, let's use some judgment here.
At discretion. Maybe have the linesman or a fourth official if they're close to the play. Like the Nani situation. The fourth official is right there at the Champions League game. You know what I mean? But they don't call and talk it over. It's an immediate decision. Or if a ref makes a decision, the assistant still say, hey, wait a minute.
I'm going to... We brought up Bobby Zamora. We could talk about the QPR match a little bit later, but let's just talk about that incident. There was a throw-in, Wigan throw-in. Bobby Zamora comes in to try to intercept the ball, boot like super high, clips Jordi Gomez in the head. Like clips him in the head. Clear red card. I don't think anybody can argue that. Phil Dowd was the ref there. He did exactly what you're talking about though. He had patience. He saw what he saw. Then he walked to the sideline. He talked to the official, the linesman.
I remember he turned around.
And he's like, Bobby!
Yep, you're off.
You're off.
And he pulls out the card.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's better than that or
the wrong red card. I love that. That was classic. But so, I mean, they are doing that. Some of them are doing it, but it's not consistent.
It depends on the referee. It depends on the ego. It's some of them are more diplomatic, more forward-minded. Some are more conservative and traditional.
But by traditional, you mean like big teams get the calls?
Certain Yorkshire police officers. Or is it Yorkshire?
I don't know. All I know is that Howard Webb is the 12th man.
I remember I got yelled at on some comment board. He's not from us. And there's a Manchester cop. I don't know, guys. I'm not from there. Okay. I'm from the U.S.
Okay. They should... All right, according to us, we'll put a petition in. They should review the rule. If it was up to us, they would change it.
I think there should be review... I think they should modernize... There's a million freaking cameras. A million. There should be a fifth official. They got a microphone.
A TV official.
They have a microphone. All they gotta say is, "Hey, was it harsh? Was it? Did I get it wrong? Did I get it right?"
It kind of takes a little bit of authority from the head official because now he's going off somebody else's opinion. But how about we say it's the officiating crew, right?
It's the crew.
It's the crew that's making the decision.
That way the head referee doesn't go out to a bar one night and get a freaking bottle jammed in his jugular because he made a bad call.
No, there's 5 guys that are making that call.
There's he can't blame himself. There's a guy up there did it. Who's behind a curtain, pulling levers like those are.
I'm the great wizard.
Eventually, we'll have augmented reality. I'm sure they'll have like some sort of glasses.
We'll have augmented reality, and you'll watch the result you want to see, and I'll watch the result I want to see, and we're all in the Matrix.
I love steak.
All right, so the other issue I want to talk about this game is not really an issue. Lukaku, he has stated, and I don't know how much of this is just British rag manipulating his words. Basically, he doesn't want to go back to Chelsea after what they did to him. Right? After basically saying, we have no strikers except for Torres, but we don't want you. You go on loan. It's kind of crappy.
They have a great player, but Abramovich wants his team that he's playing with, and he wants superstars. He wants world-class player. Lukaku is not a brand-name player.
Yet.
He got his Hazard, he got his Mata, he's got his David Luiz, and
I get it.
You get me.
Oscar, right? All right, so, so where does he go? Do you think the Baggies can sign him? Do you think they have the money to sign him? I mean, I think if I was involved in that organization right now, I'd be trying to line up the chips to how I can keep this man because. He is going to be... He's 19 years old. Big deal. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are teams lining up right now. I'm sure that the Spurs and the Gunners and a couple of the mid-table...
Spurs especially.
Are going to be looking for a guy like him. I mean, Arsenal can use another big guy. I mean, Giroud's nice, but we need another one.
Who else you got? Podolski, he can play striker, but he's really more of a left forward.
Yeah, well, he plays on. Well, Wenger has insisted he plays on the left, and that's it.
Yeah. No,
but do you think the Baggies can do it? You think they? I mean,
financially, what he may demand.
That's the thing, right? Is that what it's going to be? It's going to boil down to
the way he's formed and at his age, and the way his strength, and the way he can head the ball and create space. I mean, he's in a nation. Like I said, I know I always harp on the Belgians, but I really, really think they develop very, very, very young. Right now, they have very young, talented, up and coming superstars, and I think he's going to be one of them. I think he's going to be on that Belgian team that we're going to be talking about for the next 12 years.
And they have good chocolate.
Fantastic chocolate, and some of the best beer in the world. It's so filling, though.
Oh yes, device. So it's. I think it would be for that organization, for that club. It would be wonderful if he could stay.
And he's in the system.
But that's going to be a nice story this summer. That's going to be interesting to follow where he's going to end up, where he's going to land.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, we did it on the spot fact check. Arsenal is playing Norwich City at home next week.
We had our producers and 2 of our interns check it out. So, good job.
So the might as well talk about the QPR match because we touched on it already.
I was extremely entertained by that match. And I talked about the stadium last time. Another reason I love that stadium so much, when something amazing happens, the cameras actually shake. Like, they physically shake, and your TV's going nuts, and you feel like, and you hear them.
I like that.
And the microphones are so sensitive.
I love the microphone. It's got some guy.
Fucking wanker! And then, and you could see the guys holding up their two fingers like this, like right there.
Oh, they were booing Gomez.
Every time.
You could hear the heckles because the microphones were like right in the crowd.
And awkward silence from the commentators after something really vulgar was picked up.
I'm sure that it's probably some guy has picked up the mic and is walking around the stands. He's like, "We got the mic!"
I love that ground. Just to one final time. I'm probably going to mention it almost every time. As long as they're in, they should stay in the Premiership because they're starting to have these. I don't want to say they're cookie cutters because they are kind of unique, but a lot of these super stadiums they wrap around and they just pack people in. But I like White Hart Lane as much. Probably you don't agree with me. I like different looking stadiums.
Okay,
it's just me. Braga.
Things. You mean things that are modeled after crap?
Unique, old fashioned. I like Fenway Park.
I'm kidding. Aside from the aesthetics of the field,
the contents.
Let's talk about the content. All right, of the game.
It was a butcher shop.
It was. I think you texted me during the game, and I think you said, "I feel like I'm watching the 1980s."
Yeah,
I feel like I'm watching the League One from 1987.
2-footers.
It was a brutal match. Bobby Zamora with the red card, high foot to Gomez. It wasn't a high foot. He front kicked. He front kicked Gomez in the ear.
Spikes up too.
Yeah,
and he kind of angled his foot and kind of buried one of the studs into his ear canal. But anyway, and then afterward, he tried to play it off like, "Oh, sorry, might be."
Oh yeah, when Phil Dowd shows him the red, he gives him the look like, "No,
are you kidding?"
No, but this one is definitely QPR blew it. Unintelligent players. Okay. Remy was unlucky to not have scored earlier in the game. He hit the woodwork once.
That one goal,
that
was beauty.
The wonder goal. It's definitely a candidate for goal of the year.
The counter, build up,
first timer, in across the face of the goal to the far post. There
was no spin at all. It rooted. Just the goalie just stood still, hypnotized, and it just. No rotation, and I remember the one angle from behind the right post, and it was just a perfect shot, and you just watch the soccer ball just kind of.
It was a great shot. It was a great shot. You're going to be seeing highlights for that one. When they start talking, the next few weeks there's going to be a lot of that goal of the year kind of stuff. That one's going to be mentioned. So they score this with a man down, right? So Wigan is up. By the way, they were playing Wigan. Almost irrelevant. Wigan was up a man, and they had nothing. They had possession, but they couldn't get anything going. And QPR was playing wonderful counterattacking football.
You know what really gummed up Tarabat? They were relying on him so much. They kept giving the ball, and he kept just sending him like complete ridiculous shots. He was trying to send it in for like 40, 30 yards out, like screamers. And they're just every time he got the ball.
There was a lot of unintelligent play. They score the goal. There's not much left in the game. They get on a break, and everyone's trying to be a hero. Like, you don't need to make it 2-0 right now. You need to keep the ball 90 yards away from your goal.
Like, keep away.
And they just silly stuff. And then they got tired, and you could see it. And then the fouls started even. They were already fouling so much, and then at the end of the game, the silly fouls just started piling on, and they let up in the 94th minute a stupid foul right outside the box. And you know what? I almost feel like QPR that wall was cheating so bad. It drives me nuts. The referee turns his back, and they creep. It did not look like 10 yards. And they got... Well, it didn't matter. because they were punished. I think
He's going in either way if they were 10 yards.
Well, I think Cesar screwed up a little bit with his positioning.
Oh, he couldn't touch it where he put it.
No, he would have gotten it. I think Cesar gave too much confidence to that wall. They were too close. He needed to position himself a little bit more center. He was so far post.
Yeah.
There was,
he couldn't make it over.
So like I said, a lot of unintelligent play. Basically, QPR blew their season. I mean, they've been slowly, performing fellatio on their season all season, but they just climaxed. I mean,
they don't do the little things. No foreplay.
No,
they just go right for it, and they use all their stamina up, and they blow it.
They were going to be relegated. I do not see them coming out.
No, you can't buy this one. Maybe next year they'll come back up. I feel terrible for them. Like I said, I like the old teams. I like the character and not a lot of history, but I like those kind of teams.
The gritty teams.
Yeah,
the Norwiches of the world. I think Norwich is a gritty team. I think they're a gritty team. I like them. I like that they've grinded out a lot.
That little bird. The little bird on their logo. I have a hard time calling anything gritty with a finch.
It's a canary. But
canary. I'm sorry.
You mean like it's like a Disney movie? They're like, there's no way that little bird is going to scare me until Grant Holt rakes you in the face with his cleat.
That's a big dude. So let's. They're going to get relegated, but a team moving away from the EPL that's far from relegation, unless we still got more to go.
We have. Let me just give you the recap of the rest of the games real quick. Liverpool failed to break down West Ham's stubborn defense. 0-0. Nothing came out of that game. Can't say much. They locked down Suarez. That was it. Newcastle, best celebration from a manager I've seen in a long time. Papi Cisse scores a ridiculous goal. I think it's luck. Ball gets sent to him. He's got his back to the goal. He kind of like stomps on the ball, and it does like a funky bounce.
That was an extra time too, right?
Yes, it was. I think 94th minute. Was it 94th minute? It was in injury time. Don't know. Definitely in extra time. Does a funky bounce. He comes and turns around, sliding on, then puts another bounce on the ball, and it gets in. Alan Pardew goes bonkers, running up and down the sideline. He jumps into the crowd. He comes out disheveled. Looks like he just came home from like a 1960s swingers party. It was ridiculous. So that was exciting. Newcastle pull out that win.
Villa won.
Yes.
Villains. Their anti-relegation.
The Villains had a Wunder goal. Loughton scored a ridiculous shot from it looked like 30 yards out. It was like almost the Henry turn.
Oh,
like
yeah?
It was like on a volley, and he just cracks it. Yeah, it was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Tony Pulis now is eating his little bicycle cyclist cap because I think they're starting to worry about relegation. Southampton, they drop their promotion brothers, the Royals of Reading, 2-0. The Reading is also going to get relegated. They're tied on points with QPR. I don't think they're coming out. That's another sad story. It was nice to see Reading back in the Premiership, but they don't have what it takes. They're going down. And last but not least, Norwich couldn't close out Swansea. They're promotion brothers. They came up last year together. They drew 2-2. Norwich looks like they're now flirting with the drop zone again. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on these guys. There's a lot of teams flirting with that area. We'll have to. We'll see what's going on. It's exciting. Right now, Wigan, QPR, and Reading down. Wigan's got a game in hand. They can get themselves out of there. So that last spot is up for grabs. That bubble spot is up for grabs. And that's the EPL. That was it for the week.
It was a pretty entertaining week. A lot of things happened. A lot of switches again. There's what is it? The bubble starts at 31 points and all the way up to ninth position is 41. So there's 10 points between the 17th and the 9th position.
Yep. Same thing. It's been that 10-point swing for most of the season.
Still a lot to watch.
I would say
a lot
that
of drama to happen, even in the mid-table.
I would say that even the teams at 37 points, Southampton and West Ham are not necessarily safe yet.
They're not out of the water.
No, not yet. 6 games to go.
Which should be good. And one team that did cinch it, though. Sorry, I jumped the gun earlier. Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. They have been absolutely unbelievable. And I think for this season from 2012 to 2013, they are the best in Europe. But it still remains to be seen tournament-wise. The Champions League, I know they're still in it. I know they have all their time and their roster to focus.
Now they could. Now they can. I don't think they're concerned with the rest of the league.
Yeah,
right.
They can rest their players.
They're going to. Their goal is Champions League.
Just like it was. United last year to win the league after the way they went out at home last year.
I find it interesting
to go into London, in Chelsea's house.
Well, it won't be.
The Germans invade London
again. They already bombed North London when they came to visit Arsenal. They've destroyed us. But what interesting? They bring in Pep Guardiola. He's on the side. He's waiting in the wings, right? He's the next manager, and it's almost like they brought him in really to what? What is the goal to bring Pep Guardiola in? It's to win the Champions League, really, right? Because they could probably find a dozen guys that can win the Bundesliga. I'm not saying the Bundesliga is easy. I'm saying that Bayern has such pedigree, such a deep squad, that there's a dozen professional managers out there that can do it.
They're the other Barcelona of Europe. They have the youth system. They have the loyal fans. They have the classics. They have the stadium. It's a super stadium. Even the old one, even the brand new one is now considered their. The home immediately.
Right.
They're the German brand. There's Real Madrid as well, but the Catalan brand is Barcelona.
Right.
Again, I can't stress enough, the youth system is fantastic, just like Barcelona's.
I've heard arguments that I know that Bayern has a youth system that's been in place for years, but I've actually heard rumors that they want Pep Guardiola. They want into his brain on how La Masia works. And they want him to help
make it.
Basically convert their current academy to something closer to what Barcelona does. I don't know. I don't know if that is hearsay, rumor, but it's an interesting concept regardless of how you cut it. And imagine the German discipline with the Spanish technical ability. I mean, that's it. You're looking at the super player. Right? The athleticism.
The only person who has more national pride than the Spaniard and a Catalan is a German.
Well, yes, absolutely.
And to play for Bayern, which is arguably Germany's club team, and to come up through that system.
It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what Pep is going to do. At first, I was very put off by the idea that Pep went to Germany. I thought he was I felt that Pep going to Germany was him saying, I'm not sure if what happened at Barcelona was me or was Barcelona. So let me take a baby step. Let me go to another club that is pretty well set, that has a lot of money. The media is not going to be all over me. They're going to give me time. And I'm going to see... Right. And I'm going to see if it was really me or if it was like because I had the little Maradona,
Bayern's a really hot rebound girl.
Yes, that's a great way. Because I feel like if he jumped right into a London team, he's going to get it's going to come out ugly no matter what he does. Unless he does quadruples, unless he's winning 4 major titles a year, everything else is going to be like, oh, Pep is useless.
There's only one media outlet that's more relentless than the Spanish media, and it's the British media. And the reason he said he got burnt down in Barcelona Because it was a full time 24-hour a day job.
Right.
The reason why he had to go and leave and go to get his sabbatical in the U.S. and go to a spa or whatever he had to do.
So nobody recognizes him.
It's a good theory.
The cue ball.
And now he's going to Germany where they respect people's privacy, people's personal lives, and
they respect managers. At least there's from my own personal experience, I've been to Germany a few times now. There is a respect for authority. Absolute. There's just these are the rules. You follow the rules. So you have a manager in place. They respect their authority.
That's why Germans are great at Legos. Sorry.
So moving on to other European, the other European.
Madrid or Barcelona do you want to go to?
Well, let's start. Let's build up. How about we build up? Champions League last week.
Dortmund,
Malaga. You believed last week that Dortmund was going to tear them apart. And what happened?
They had an unbelievable amount of missed opportunities. Sitters right in front of the goal, blocks, great saves, and it was well performed on both ends. It was a very open game, very entertaining, but the score didn't reflect what was on the field.
Yeah, my notes on that one were basically, summarize in one sentence is Malaga holds on against the dominant Dortmund. Great, they drew 0-0. As the home team, you didn't let up a goal. So now you go to Germany. You put one in, they got to put two. That's all you got to do now.
Dortmund at home, though, that is an incredible 12th man.
No, I'm not. I'm not doubting it. These teams match up interesting. It's an interesting matchup, but Malaga is in a good spot. Like I said, Dortmund puts one in. Malaga puts one in. Malaga's advancing. If it draws 1-1, Malaga's advancing. The away goal rule, I think, that's another day, another topic. Away goal rule is, I think, almost deflating some of the excitement because teams are playing to not let up goals at home because they know it's gonna cost them. Second leg, 12th man, you think is going to be the difference?
I think Dortmund. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, but if Malaga score, I still don't think the aggregate's going to help them. I think it's going to. There's not going to be a shootout. I think Dortmund's going to.
Do you think? Okay, all right. Just for laughs and giggles, I'm just going to say Malaga's going to sneak one in. They're going to sneak in.
Fair enough.
I think I'm going to tell you right now. There's going to be 3 Spanish teams in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
We'll
all
see.
right. Back the other German team, Bayern, the other German team in the UEFA Champions League. I thought if Juve could settle them down, hold them off, they would have a chance. They couldn't do it. Bayern was at home, but they 2-0.
Too powerful.
2-0, too powerful.
It shouldn't have been 2-0 either. It should have been a lot.
They set the tempo 25 seconds in. Who is it? Their right back? No. Who's their right back?
Alaba, screamer.
25 seconds in.
The laws of physics.
25 seconds in.
It looked like he was shooting with his right foot. It looked like he was going towards his left and cuts across the goalie. Looks like he's going straight at the goalie, and then the last second it goes off into the top corner. Bottom corner, I'm sorry.
They scored that goal, never looked back. 2-0. Juventus' run of 18 games unbeaten in Europe over. I think their run in Europe is over. I don't think they're going to be able to bounce back, even at home. Even at home, the next leg's at home. I don't think they can do it.
Not once Buffon's gone. I think they lose a big leadership. I know he's getting older now. I know goalies last a lot longer than position players. Piello's getting up in age. What is he? 37?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fact check that one. God, I gotta stop giving myself more work. Jesus.
I just don't say things I don't know anymore. I don't feel like doing the research.
I'll get better at that.
I'm like, do I just pretend like it's real life and I just say something and maybe they'll just believe me?
Vidal's been very good. I do have to admit. And I think Jovinko, he's also... They got two good young players, but other than that, I think they used to be a major European powerhouse, an Italian powerhouse. I know they just won Serie A last year, but...
Unbeaten.
Yeah, but
Unbeaten.
I just don't think that they're gonna be able to sustain... I don't know. I don't like Serie A, though. I'm biased.
I can appreciate Serie A. I have not watched as much as I would like to, but that's more time constrictions in my life versus me not liking the league.
That's true. I don't have.
I can't speak. I can't speak with enough education on anybody outside the top 3 or 4 teams.
Yeah,
that's
agreed.
So,
I can't speak with any educational Serie A, so I'm just gonna stop.
Okay, but from the surface, Bayern will advance.
Yes.
I can't even go against you on that one.
I
can't even go against you on that one. Bayern is going to advance, I believe.
I think they're the best team in Europe right now, especially for the last 6 months. Their consistency in their league, the way they performed in Europe, the way they've performed against other top-flight teams in Europe, against their own top-flight teams, the way they destroy their local...
they're a force. They're a force to be reckoned with.
When people say you're supposed to play a certain way against lower teams, that's what determines if you're a champion or not. When you beat a team 8-0, 9-2, things like that, putting nails in coffins.
I'm going to say that's a class debate. I'm going to say that you stop running up the score. I'm just kidding. No, I agree. They're a powerhouse. There's no more to be said about Bayern. We love them. We stroked them up enough already.
All right, so we'll go to the two Spaniards.
The two Spaniard teams, Madrid, completely overpower Galatasaray. In hell.
The two mercenaries didn't do much for Galatasaray.
No, it wasn't in hell. I'm sorry. It was in Bernabeu. It was in Bernabeu.
For the Galatasaray fans, I heard it was hell. A lot of them were they were beaten up.
Really?
Pretty badly.
Didn't read about this.
Yeah, when they were told to leave, I guess they weren't leaving fast enough, and they started coming out with horses and throwing.
Oh, so it was
tear gas. Yeah,
La Policia.
Yeah, they were all screaming, "Vamos, vamos!" Hitting with batons and going in with riot shields. It was pretty intense.
And that was just the match.
Yeah, that was just Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
So.
No, come on, Pepe. It was Pepe. No, it was 3-0. The total domination. Ronaldo, Higuain, was it Benzema?
Benzema started. Higuain came on.
Yeah, all three of them scored.
Ozil supplying again. Avatar eyes. I don't know if I've said enough.
The boy went to Avatar eyes.
Oh, I could watch him. His passes. He can't finish for his life, but man, he sets some unbelievable stuff. Breaks people. Opens up like a can of worms.
They're going to advance.
It's in the bag.
Three goals. We're being very boring here, except I don't see it. I just can't see it. I can't picture Madrid collapsing. 3-goal lead.
And I think, nope, I'm not going to make any claims. But I'm very interested to see how Galatasaray play at home, because I think Madrid going into there, they do have the swagger and the mental strength. I think with Jose Mourinho to be able to go in there and not be intimidated, especially the younger players. I think Varane is unreal. The young Frenchman.
I'm not sure if he played in the league this week, but I read that the guy has gone a ridiculous number without a foul, like hundreds and hundreds of minutes without committing a foul.
The way he can chase down, he'll get caught. He'll be in the center, and Villa or Pedro in the Clásicos, and Sanchez will try to speed past him. And he'll just, it doesn't even look like he's trying hard. And he'll go in like 4 or 5 strides and just take the ball completely off their feet.
It's ridiculous.
Effortless. He's and from set pieces, I think he's got. I've witnessed at least 3 headers this year from him. From a center back, I think he's 19 years old.
720 minutes without conceding a single foul. Jeez. 720 minutes.
That's a lot.
Some people will argue that the first leg of the Real United Champions League match, he committed a foul on Evra, and it should have been a red card. Evra was almost on a breakaway, and when you watch it fast speed, it looks like Varane gets a tap on the ball and then collides with Evra, but some people claim that it was Evra that tapped it away and then he collided into him. So there's a little bit of controversy there, but okay, the ball bounces in your favor every once in a while. How many times does the ball have to bounce in your favor for 720 minutes without committing a foul? He's either the luckiest man alive or this kid, a 19-year-old kid, is a phenom of a defender.
I mean, he comes on to Real Madrid. People were, I know Ricardo Cavallo hasn't really been even considered on the starting spot. I think Pepe was injured at the beginning of the season. That's how he got called up so quickly. And now he cemented himself.
Now those other guys are thinking about, how am I going to dislodge him from the starting lineup?
He's a superstar already. I think that was Zidane who found him too. He said, "Hey, listen, you got to pick this guy up." And yeah, I read that in a couple different places. I'll put the link on the site.
Another Frenchman slips through the fingers of Arsene Wenger.
And that was actually something I was going to ask you too. Who do you think the big name to leave Arsenal this year and pick up a piece of silver next year is going to be?
Thomas Vermaelen.
You think?
Yeah, captain that gets benched.
That's true.
Although he's going to be playing next week because, per Mr. Soccer, is got the red card.
United are on the hunt for center backs.
They don't want him. He's worse. No, he's not as worse. He's not as bad as Phil Jones. But.
No, Phil Jones got a lot of praise lately. He's apparently, I don't know. I
like a lot of praise. Like
anything from Sir Alex Ferguson's mouth, I take as gospel because that man knows soccer.
Let me study the rest of the squad, and I'll tell you who's going to win silverware next year.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that one. I'll make a note. But I think I do think TV5 potentially is on the way out.
Yeah.
Nasri and RVP were chatting it up in the tunnel after the game today.
Yeah, and don't forget about Fabregas too. He left with Barcelona. He got some.
So did Song.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay. Song's going to win a title too with Barcelona,
even though he did nothing with them.
Yeah, well,
he was there.
That was you know what that is? That's
trained with him.
That was impulse buy.
Yeah. Well, I like that.
Okay, back to Champions League. The duality of Barcelona.
Of course, they're going to get in. At least the
2-2. First 45 minutes, Barcelona masterclass. Dani Alves puts in an undefendable pass to Messi on a ball gets. I think it was on a corner. PSG perfect as a defense, pushes out fast, exactly what they're supposed to do. Messi falls in line, comes back. Alves kicks the ball with the outside of his foot like a looping ball up and over the defenders.
Right onto his
Messi
foot.
Perfectly times the run. Bing, boom, bomb. Standard Messi goal. I don't recall the second goal, but they got up. And then PSG chipped away. They had some luck. Zlatan was offsides. Very, very offsides. But he scored. And then the screamer from, the guy with his last name starts with M. Don't remember his name. But it was a screamer to tie it up. Barcelona, I think, got caught napping on the second half. No, it wasn't Menez. It was an African player.
Oh, yes.
I don't recall his name. I'll fact check it. I don't watch enough PSG to know who he is. Regular, I don't know his name off the top of my head.
No.
But the tale of the duality of Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona. I don't have a love-hate relationship. I have a hate and indifferent relationship. Most of the time, I'm very indifferent about Barcelona. I think that I watch them. Amazing technical football. Amazing to the point where we're going to, probably in our lifetime, there will be a museum erected to this era of Barcelona football. It is incredible what we're witnessing. We're alive to see some spectacular stuff. And they're on the cutting edge of football. They're developing styles. They're changing how people play, how they think about the game. But not only are they changing how people feel and think about the game from the technical aspect, this is the duality of man. The other side of it, the dark side, because with all good, they have an equal, as good as they are, as incredible they go to one side of how amazing they are the worst team when it comes to sportsmanship that I've watched.
Oh, they always.
They are. It is
something.
They crowd referees, and I know teams crowd referees, okay? But the Barcelona way is to be the best. They crowd a referee like no other team I've ever seen.
And
they complain.
Go ahead. Oh no, go on.
They just it's just it's diving is part of the game. I understand that. The level of simulation that they take it to is astronomical. Just like their positive play, just like their actual football is so amazing. Their simulation, it's so much to the other direction. It's comical. It's
like their feet explode in their face at the same time.
It's like you know from the X Games. You know that one skater that like did like the big jump, and then like when he lost his skateboard, and when he hit the ground, like his cleats came out, his shoes came. Yeah, that's like every single time. It's like they're reenacting that. Like you didn't just drop 50 feet, buddy.
And every time they crowd the referee, they lose their neck. They're always their shoulders go up. And they go,
it drives me nuts because. So that's why I go between indifferent, because I don't love them, because I only love one club really.
They ruin how good they look playing by when the game is stopped and they act like that.
It's a balancing,
open their
right?
mouth.
So the yin and the yang. The amount of good that they do is to me almost completely washed out by how they are such inspirations for players around the world, kids that are growing up. And this is like sounds corny, like, oh, they're role models. But they really are, because they are the epicenter of football. Like, everyone knows Barcelona. Everyone knows that 11, whatever, the 25 that they have on that team. They are the face of football. And because of that, and I'm not saying that they have to have this responsibility, but it's a cause and effect. We are going to see the worst simulation era ever in this next generation of kids that come up watching these fools that they don't understand the power that they have in their hands. They win games without all this crap. They don't need it. And it just, to me,
tarnishes it.
It tarnishes it. And I'm not saying other teams are, like all these crystal clear. No, a lot of teams are doing it. It's just that they do it to the extreme.
The best.
They're the best. They're the best at simulation. They're the best at whining. They're the best at complaining. And they are best at scoring goals and making teams look foolish.
Yeah.
In the same sentence, the duality of Barcelona. It drives me nuts. And I think they're gonna get past the PSG still. I still have faith that they're gonna get past PSG. I think that the first 45 minutes is indicative of what they really can do, and they're not gonna get caught napping at home.
No, they're gonna put on a big show too.
I think so.
So, that leaves us with no one left in Champions League.
No, that's it. Those are the games. They play this Tuesday and Wednesday. By the time you hear this, again, by the time we get this out there, you will already know the results. You will know how right or wrong we are. And then we can talk about it some more. We can see how our predictions go.
It's going to be another fun week.
Yep, absolutely. The EPL, six games to go. 6 games to go. There's a couple teams that have maybe 7. And the league is Man U still, but I want to see how this is going to play out. I mean, every week Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal. That's exciting for me.
It's a bittersweet time of the year. It's the most exciting because you have the top of the table going up and down. Who's going to make it to Europe? We already know who's going to win the league. the bottom of the relegation zone, the Champions League, the FA Cup, it's all coming to an end. And then you also have that impending summer drought of nothingness because there's no tournaments. I guess we can watch the CONCACAF, but we really got to savor these next couple weeks.
Confederates Cup.
Confederates Cup, that's it.
Confederates Cup.
And the qualifiers.
We'll get into the MLS maybe a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe we can highlight American players abroad.
Oh.
Or not.
I got some really important things to do this summer. All right, well, that's it for podcast number 3. We will be on the Twitter as well at Soccer Yanks Dave and
no S actually. It's Soccer Yank Dave.
Soccer Yank Dave. Oh.
And Soccer Yank Dan. Find us on Twitter.
The website socceryanks.com.
That's right, socceryanks.com. You can send us emails at socceryanks@gmail.com. Thank you for the feedback that we've been getting so far. I like some of the ideas that you guys, we're going to keep fooling around with the format. Maybe do some more topic-based, maybe less just weekly rundowns, or maybe a mix. I think this week is kind of like what we found so far is the nice hybrid of doing some match reports and some, tangential ranting. But please keep the feedback coming. We like to hear what you think. I want to hear as much negative feedback because that's only going to make us better. So don't hold back, please.
Plus, it gives us extra dirt to say to other people when we're ranting at each other, too. So
right.
We use some of your stuff.
And if you got anything you want us to talk about, I've already had a couple people ask me to touch on some subjects. Please let us know. We want to banter about everything and all.
Also, next week we're going to touch on who we think the player of the year in the BPL is. So if you guys have any suggestions or any cases you'd like to make clear for us to bring up, please contact us and let us know.
All right.
And that's it for this week. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Take it easy.